Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Something kind of new to the channel. Want to talk a little news in the film and TV world. And that news today is that it has been broke by, I believe the source is Deadline, or at least that's the source I read online. And I know Variety report on it as well, but Conan is coming to Netflix. And what does that mean? They're looking to develop a series there, plus they have film rights and animation rights. So it could mean a whole bunch of things. And they acquired the Conan library. And I want to read you an excerpt from the article. This article is from Deadline, and it was written by Nellie Andriva. And the part I want to read is, and this is Nellie Andriva writing, I hear the project from Frederick Malmberg and Mark Wheeler's Pathfinder Media is the first in a deal between Netflix and Conan Properties International, owned by Malmberg's Cabinet Entertainment. The pact gives Netflix the exclusive option to acquire rights to the Conan Literary Library and develop works across TV and film, both live action and animated. And what I wanted to talk to today is why I think this is a great move for Conan and Robert E. Howard's characters. In his literary library, although I believe the Red Sonja rights reside with someone else. But I think this contract will still give them the rights to not only Conan, but also Cull, Solomon Kane, maybe Bron McMorn, just a bunch of properties. He's got a boxer. He's got a ton of characters that Netflix, and I would love to see Dark Agnes develop too. Dark Agnes would be a great series, especially probably one of the more brutal and fun and just crazy beginnings of a character ever. But we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about Conan. And I believe Conan could work incredibly well on Netflix. And here's why. If you are a reader of the source material, which is the Robert E. Howard stories, and even if you've read the comics, the old Roy Thomas adaptations and the writing, and Conan's great serialized, all right? He starts out in Samaria. He goes through his test of manhood. He climbs the wall of Venarium, fights there. But Conan is a wanderer. He leaves Samaria after a while, and the way this could work so well, and different from the movies, because in the movies, Conan was a bastardization of a couple different things mushed together. Some Cull mythos mixed in with Conan mostly. And it worked for what it was, but this has a chance to be something more pure, which is what excites me about the announcement and the move. I love Conan on the big screen, but I think he's got huge potential on the small screen. It could just be my opinion, but I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, he's a wanderer. He spent most of his years wandering place to place. And he's got a huge world map and a huge world created by Robert E. Howard. All right, Conan's traveled to in the Hyborian map, in the Hyborian age, right? So he's been to Sham, Stygia, you got Koth, Hyrcania, Kitai, Vendaya, Argos, Zamora, Numidia, Aquilonia, and Turan, and most notably Aquilonia, where he one day will become king. And that's where I think this series has a lot of potential. Because we start out Conan as what they call him, he's a pup, he's 16, 17, and he's leaving, he hasn't seen many years. And he's setting out on his journey. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of roles to play. Becomes leader of the Cossacks. He's a kind of a Bedouin type guy for a while. He's just place to place to place, learning about the world, learning about how civilized people are different from the so-called barbarians that him and his tribe are, and how their customs are in a lot of ways more barbaric than his. And this deeper storytelling in deeper dive into the characters where television could serve him well. In a movie, you're going to get him paired up with one or two people, right? But this is a guy. He's had adventures with Valeria. He's had adventures with Beylit, his greatest love, with a tragic ending. He's met wars along the way. You got Zula, his eventual queen Zenobia, Yasmina. And the creatures and the sorcerers that he fights along the way just have never even been tapped properly in the movies. And I like all three movies, so I'm not a hater. And I even like the old Conan the Adventurer TV series. A lot of fun. And the cartoons as well. What I'm looking for here is good adult storytelling with Conan. Something that is going to take him seriously, which I believe Netflix will do. And develop the world, which Netflix will have time and a budget to do. Conan can work great with a budget, say a Game of Thrones budget or a Witcher budget, which is already at Netflix, right? And we've already seen what they've done with The Witcher, which I was a big fan of the first season. Some people love it or hate it. Some people were lost. It was my first contact with The Witcher, and I loved it. Can't wait for season 2. But with Conan, the wandering nature of this barbarian, this warrior, this eventual king, lends itself perfectly to serialized storytelling. You could have seasons and seasons of him wandering place to place to place, adventure to adventure, 2, 3, 4 season episode arcs of one adventure, or even a whole adventure. I mean, the Tower of the Elephant could be 3, 4 episodes. Just Red Nails, just so much. Queen of the Black Coast. There's just so much material they can develop, and so much they can do writing between the lines of the stories and the timelines that Howard set up, because Howard jumped back and forth. And Netflix could really run with this and make it something great. And they just got to care about the property. I believe they will. You're not going to acquire this property, I don't think, without a keen eye to developing it the best way to potentially spin it off into other series or events in this world with all the other characters that are owned by Conan properties. Robert E. Howard developed characters and made characters. So this is where I think it has potential. You could do him from 17 all the way up to before he becomes a king. Stop that series. Go 3, 4, 5 seasons. Do another series, Conan the King after, King Conan, however you want to say it. Then do a series of him as a ruler. There's potential. Cartoons, adult animated cartoons. You've seen what they've done with Godzilla. You've seen what they've done with these other properties, where they've taken them and they've made them into something special while being faithful to their source material. They can do that here. They can do that with animation in a way that hasn't been done before. They can do that with serialized storytelling in a live action series in a way it hasn't been done before. And everyone thinks you need someone the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger to be Conan. You don't. Conan was not always that size, or even written about as that size. Do you need someone fit with a muscular structure? Yeah, of course you do. But, you know, many actors can fit that role. And the one thing that the movies still haven't got right is how cunning and smart Conan is. He's got good survival instincts. He's a leader for a reason. He's not a dumb barbarian as he's been depicted before. And the potential in these areas is what excites me about a Netflix series featuring Conan, as you can develop all the intricacies of the character. You can go in depth and see how he develops show after show, season after season, and hopefully if that's what happens. But that's my quick take. I mean, he's a wanderer. He's got so much potential. And I think serialized and streaming on a platform like Netflix is a great move for the property and for our most beloved barbarian. That's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think, especially you, Varangian Vigilante. I want to know your thoughts. And I know you're going to have some opposing views to me, and I can't wait to discuss it with you. It's going to be a great discussion. But I think the potential here is unlimited. I think this is news to be excited about. And I can't wait to get the first stills. I can't wait to get casting news. I can't wait to sit my ass down in the seat and watch this show. Watch the cartoons they make, like a good adult animated series. There's just so much, and I can't wait to see what other characters they delve into. I hope this is a success. I think it will be. There hasn't been anything to fill the Game of Thrones void since that went off the air, and people weren't satisfied with that ending. So I think they're looking to latch on to other stuff. Witcher's got kind of a great response, and some people who didn't like it. But there's potential here. If we can have 75 million different comedies on TV and drama shows, we can have a couple different sorcery fantasy shows on a Netflix, on these streaming platforms, and they can work. And that's it, guys. I just wanted to talk about this, touch base with it, maybe get your thoughts on it. But Conan's coming to Netflix. Robert E. Howard is coming to Netflix. Who are they going to cast? Who do you want cast? What do you really know about the character? I know there's a bunch of us out there that know this character backwards and forwards from reading the Robert E. Howard, not just the comics, but have been with this character since we were young and grew up with this character in this world and the people that populate it. So this is fantastic news to me. Super excited about it. Hope you guys are too. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, guys, keep it casual.